to the Roses Are Red podcast with your hosts, Mrs. Red Rose and Sam I Am from the Married Couples Podcast.
Welcome in, everyone, to another Roses Are Red podcast with my lovely co-host, Sam I Am. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Trying to
Back
recover
home
from-
finally.
No,
Have all the equipment. It's awesome.
back to normal.
Yes. Back to reality, you know?
Oh, yes. Well, we are missing someone today because they had some prior engagements to do. So we are missing AC.
Yeah. And life gets busy and sometimes you just can't make it. So
Yes. So we do miss you, AC, and we can't wait to have you back on soon. So with that said, I have a lot of juicy stuff to tell you.
All right, I can't wait.
So tonight's show, we're going to do headlines, and I always want to say highlights for some reason.
Well, it's a recap of things we've done before and headlines so it's kind of like highlights, but I don't know. I get it.
I'm like, highlights. So like, I think because I always see a highlighter everywhere around my house somewhere, and I'm always thinking of highlights.
Yep.
With that said, the drink of tonight, which I am having, is actually vodka with ginger ale. That's pretty much it for tonight.
Nice. I'm drinking my signature rum, Captain Morgan rum.
So, let's get into it because this is going to be good.
Okay.
So you know what? So Gypsy Rose has been back into the media.
Oh Lord.
Yes, and I'm going to start off with a video of her ex. Well, they're still not divorced, of the husband, and then we'll talk about that, and then we'll go into her video.
Oh, I can't wait.
So here we go.
Okay.
If it is, I don't even know what to say about that. Like, if it's not true, then, I hope it's not true. I hope. But if it is, I can't do anything about it. Thank you for Nina. Thank you for the lightning bolt. Taylor, thank you. What's that other one? I missed it. Let's see. It could be my baby. Yeah. Guys, I don't know if she's pregnant. Or the baby is mine. Ken could never what? Like, guys, I don't know if she's pregnant. So, like, don't quit asking me those kind of questions.
So
they haven't been together in how long?
Well, we don't. I think they split up in January. I think it was January, February is when they split up.
Right, but have they been intimate since they split?
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
I
don't want to be. No, I don't want to picture that. But I don't know.
I don't either. I'm just trying to math. I'm like, can it be his? Doubt it, unless they had a little fling after they, who knows?
Maybe. Who knows? So that's been the rumors, right? And this has been a rumor for now over a month going on, that she's pregnant. Okay. She's not pregnant. They have pictures of her in the media where they're saying she's definitely pregnant. People have been, speculating back and forth. She is, she's not. And today I'm going to play the next video. Okay. But before we go into that, what do you think of him saying he hopes she's not pregnant? Do you think he still has hopes that she might return?
I think people like that always do. And I think anybody in a breakup, if they're not the one initiating it, always kind of have that hope, because not always, but for a while, it doesn't go away like that. When you go through that breakup, you're like, oh, I didn't initiate this. Why? I still love this person. So I think he probably is still holding on hope.
And some feelings there.
Yeah. And for people to say, well, it could be yours. And he's like, I don't even want to think of that, because that makes it worse. You know what I mean? So I think you could see on his face, like, oh, I hope not, because then that's even worse. And now he's tied to her for real for at least the next 18 years, but for the rest of their lives, probably, if it would have, I don't know, if she is pregnant and it is his, I think he probably dodged a bullet.
And you know what? For the people in the audience and people listening, what do you guys think? Do you guys, I mean, before I play the next clip, and you guys think, leave a comment. Do you guys think, is she pregnant? Is she not? Or did you guys always know, maybe because of what everybody was saying for like months and months, that she is pregnant? Let us know what you guys think. And, well, you'll know here in the next minute. So we will play the next clip. Here we go.
Hi, everybody. So I know the rumors have been flying around for quite some time now, and I'm happy to announce that I am 11 weeks pregnant. Ken and I are expecting our very first child come January of 2025. We're both very excited. This was not planned at all. It was completely unexpected, but we're both very excited to take on this new journey of parenthood. I have already experienced the symptoms. When I first learned that I was pregnant, the first thing that I noticed was the cravings. So I craved orange juice. Orange juice was not something that I craved on a daily basis before. So when I started craving orange juice, I'm like, okay, well, guess I just want orange juice. I didn't think anything of it. And so that was one thing. And then the next thing that I noticed was the hunger, an insatiable hunger to just eat everything. So I really went on a binge and just started eating everything. And then, of course, I missed my period, and I didn't think anything of it because I had seen my OBGYN and I had tested my fertility, and she's like, we're probably gonna have to put you on fertility meds, or at least something to make you ovulate, because you're not ovulating on a regular. So I'm like, okay. So I had that appointment was a month out. And so when I missed my period, I thought I was just having issues with ovulation. And it wasn't until I had texted with Ken, and he's like, have you taken a pregnancy test? And I'm like, nah, I don't think I'm pregnant. I don't think it's that. And then I had taken a test, and it turned out positive. And so everything just made sense.
No wonder. Thank you for not telling me in the beginning.
Your face was like,
I was like, holy shit. Well, if memory serves, if she's 11 weeks, that's close to 3 months. That's the first trimester, right? When she first got together with Ken, she was like, oh no, we're not having sex. Not happening.
right? Uh-huh.
And lo and behold,
Somebody's poking the hole. Because if it's not him, someone is.
yeah, holy buckets. Okay, now I'm interested to know how she treats this baby. Is she going? I mean, I don't think she can get away with what her mom did, but I mean, I don't even know. I don't think she should procreate. It's too late for that, though.
Yeah. She went on another one. I couldn't get the download. For some reason, it wasn't downloading, but she went on another clip. And of course, both of them are doing this publicly on TikTok.
Okay.
So they are public on TikTok. So they both were on there on TikTok talking about it. And she's on there and she's like, I just want to be better than my mom was to me. And I'm like,
that's not hard.
Well, and I'm going back because I've seen clips here and there of the documentary they've done.
Mm-hmm.
And the way she kind of acts and the way she to me, I don't know. I feel like this is a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
I feel this is a cycle. I feel that a lot of this, I think, is because even her ex-husband, or soon-to-be ex-husband, goes on saying that some of these things that they did on their documentary that they did, part of it was fake. Part of it wasn't real, all of it.
Right. Of course it wasn't.
So now I'm thinking, is this more for money? Let's get pregnant because I'm not getting the attention I want. And the other question.
She was taught, I mean, her whole life how to get that type of attention. I mean, she can't be as overt as far as like what her mom did to her, making, like with Make-A-Wish and things like that. But I mean, I think that, by doing these things, when things are dying down, now let me leave him. Oh, things are dying down. Now I have a new beau, and things are dying down. Oops, we're pregnant. You know what I mean? I feel like every few months we're going to get something new from her.
It seems like every couple of weeks we're getting something.
I know.
And here's my other question is, if this child gets more attention than she does, will
See?
she convert back? Will she, I mean, how is she going to do? Because she likes attention. Let's be honest. Gypsy
Mhm.
Rose loves attention. She absolutely loves it. She wants it. She craves it. She wants to be the next famous person, If this baby, because of all this, because I'm pretty sure they're going to do a documentary of the birth and all this shit. I'm pretty sure. Is she going to get mad at the baby? Is she going
Who
to throw the baby
knows?
out with the bathwater, Is the next
Or
question.
maybe this is, I mean, I don't know. Again, maybe, I don't know. I mean,
You're lost for words right now.
kind of, yeah. Part of me thinks that, I mean, again, she can't do what her mom did to her. However, she knows that a baby will get her attention, just like she got her mom attention. So maybe she puts her in pageants, whatever it is, or something like that, and puts them in the limelight and goes, "Oh, what a great mom I am." You know what I mean? Maybe that's her
Yeah.
her way to stay relevant long term.
That, and then I keep thinking, what if she does something to the baby?
She
You
might.
know, uh, I mean, I don't know. I think having a child right now, just freshly getting out of prison, not getting the mental help that she absolutely needs, that I feel that she should have gotten right out of prison
Yeah,
instead of getting this fame and all this other stuff. Excuse me. I feel that, I don't know. I feel like this is a walk down disaster.
I agree.
And I'm wondering how long
I agree.
this new man that's in her life is going to stick around. Is he going to, or is he also doing it for fame?
He
Is
could
he
be.
really,
Well, now that they have a baby on the way. I mean, he has to be around in some capacity, unless she does what her mom did to her with her dad. I mean, who knows?
who knows? So this has been all over social media today. This was the news break of today.
Wow.
This morning, my daughter sent me a clip. She's like, "Look, mom," and I'm like, "Holy shit, no!" And when we say today, we're not saying, because this is a pre-recorded show.
Right.
We're saying we got the news last week, and so we're bringing
Yeah.
it to you.
The day we're recording, we got this news.
Yes.
Goodness
So, that note,
gracious.
I need to take a shot for that one. 'Cause
Yeah,
that
I'll take a drink to that.
Cheers.
Cheers. Wow.
Because holy shit.
Yeah,
There's gonna
just
be a
wow.
mini Gypsy Rose.
Oof.
Curious to
No,
see what this baby's gonna look, and you know what? And that's another curiosity. Is her ex-husband going to request a DNA? Because
maybe. I mean,
what
'cause
if
yeah, I mean, let's just see. Yeah, I mean, he probably will.
yeah. So that's gonna be interesting to see.
So 11 weeks ago was April 24th. So if they've been together anytime between April and now, you know what I mean, or a little before or whatever, you know what I mean, who knows?
This is going to be an interesting, I don't know. I think I'm more worried for the child than anything, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's not like she has parents around to step in if things go bad. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? Uh
Yeah.
there's no one to help. I mean, I don't know the boyfriend, how his family is, or you know what I mean? But if uh, it's scary.
Mhm.
The only consolation I can think of is at least she is in the public eye, and they know the public knows what her mom did, so maybe she'll be watched a little bit more. I don't know.
I don't know. I just
I
know
don't
that
either.
I feel that this is just, I don't want to wish a disaster on her or her baby and her future family,
Mm-mm.
but I do feel that maybe this is a little bit too soon. She's only been out for what? We're in July, what, 7 months?
Yeah.
So in 7 months, she's gotten married, got divorced. Well, she's not even divorced yet. She's still married.
Right.
You know, they're still, you know, she's still married. So she's got to get that done before she can marry her new man. And I don't know.
I
don't
know
know.
it's a lot, dude. It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a
There's so
lot to
much. Pardon me. I just choked. Yeah, there's so
handle.
much to unpack there. So much.
Yeah, so much. So I wanted to bring that up, let you guys know. I'm curious to see when AC gets back, what his
Oh my
thoughts are.
gosh. I
He's
know.
going to. He's gonna really be like, what?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was when I got it, I was like, what? No.
Right.
So yeah.
Oof.
So I wanted to bring you that update. That was my update with Gypsy Rose. And yeah, so this is gonna be
My
interesting.
mind is just like blown right now.
Did you think it was that, or did you think it was
No, I
something
thought it was
else?
something else. I thought it was something else. I mean, I figured it was her, but I was like, what did she do now? You know, I thought it was some sort of video to answer like the last on Monday's, last week's video, and nope,
Nope.
I was completely wrong.
That was it. So, do you got a headlight story or anything
I
for today, or
do. I
any
have
updates?
no updates. As far as I didn't look into them, I should do better at that. But I
No
did
worries.
pull a couple of stories. This one feel like it's right up our alley as far as the way we go, with our deep dives. But this is an article that I pulled, and it says an appeals court orders the release of a Missouri woman whose murder conviction was reversed after 43 years in prison. So this woman is 64 years old. She went into prison at 21.
Holy shit.
Yeah. They're the attorney, the prosecutor, they're trying to keep her in jail longer, even though they've completely overturned her verdict in June. They are giving her they're giving the prosecution, I think, 30 days unless she must be freed within 30 days unless they decide to retry her. But I don't know why they would. So what had happened 43 years ago? So this happened back in 1980. There was a woman, a 31-year-old librarian who was murdered in her home. All signs pointed to a police officer who was under investigation for fraud. But nobody would really point, they never found evidence to, the evidence was minute. Sorry, I apologize. The evidence was minute for him, but there was a palm print left at the scene, and they couldn't say it wasn't his, but they couldn't definitively, words are hard, say it was his. So he was going down for this fraud case, and one of the things he said is, I'll plead guilty to this, but you can't investigate me for anything else.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Again, this was 1980. I assume it was a boys' club back then. All the police officers were like, okay. They found the librarian's earrings in his home. He passed away in 2015. So this has been relooked at, and there was the only evidence that they had against the woman who has been, had it retried and been found, had her sentence reversed. Basically, the only evidence that they found that they had was she in a mental hospital under sedation, heavy sedation. She she was questioned by the police and she confessed. That's it.
Oh, but that's
That's it.
wait a minute.
Somehow the jury never knew about the palm print. The jury never knew about, there was some evidence that the FBI had. She actually, the night in question, had been released from the mental hospital and hitchhiked 100 miles east of where the murder happened. Yet nobody, the jury never knew that. All they had was the confession, which was typically her going, yeah, it was me, but it was like slurred and things because she was under sedation. The reason they started looking into her, she was 21 at the time, and she had been in and out of mental hospitals since she was 12 because she heard voices. And
Okay.
so she's mentally ill, and she had gotten out, and they found her maybe a block away from where this murder happened with a knife in her hand, but she had found one of the nurses she had. I don't think that she had in the hospital, and I think she felt ill will against her, but nothing happened to that. But once they arrested her because she had a knife, even though the librarian was strangled, there was a knife under the librarian's head, so they thought it had to have been her. I don't know. They were just trying to point the fingers away from the cop that
From
did
the
it.
cop that did it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Again, this was
Holy moly.
1980 that this happened, but I'm just happy that she's finally, the prosecuting attorney said that she was in the 90s, mind you, so 25 years ago, had, or roundabout in the 90s, she had some violence in prison that she was convicted and got 12 extra years for. He wanted her to do that time now. And after they
Wow.
reversed that, and the judge was like, no, she wouldn't have even been there had it been handled correctly. She's that was years and years ago, over 20 years ago, and now she's finally going to be able to get the help she needs, for Pete's sakes. I mean, the prison wasn't helping her mental state. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I
Damn,
thought
so
it
he
was
did and he
interesting.
did, yeah. And to do a crime that you didn't even commit and just
Mhm.
completely
43 years. When
Can you
it was
imagine?
very clear that everything was mishandled, and even the prosecutor didn't know half of the things that
Now
the police were hiding or were protecting their own there.
now do you think because of that, do you think they can sue the police? Because you hear stories, well, okay, they get a amount of money, lump sum money, because they've sued for going to jail because they didn't commit a crime, but they, were charged with it.
I think there is a case for it. This makes her actually the longest woman to be convicted, wrongly imprisoned for a conviction. She was in there the longest. Most of them get overturned prior. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow, that is crazy. That Damn, can you
Yep.
imagine doing 40 years, being locked up 40 years?
I mean,
When
almost as long as we've been alive. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
as long as I think what long yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I was born in
You went
79.
in
This happened in 80. So I mean, she was she's 64 years old. She went in at 21.
going in when there were still, like, the telephone landlines,
Yeah. Oh my
that
gosh. It's amazing. And she's probably like, oh my gosh, I've transported to the future. You know what I mean?
right?
Yeah.
I mean, now there you walk out to no payphones, you walk out
No.
to, you know I mean, we call them trolleys here, but I think there's subways and stuff on and, depending
Hmm.
where the story's from. Where's the story from again?
Missouri, actually. There's no
Missouri.
subways in this area.
So, okay,
But
but
still, I mean, it's crazy to think. I mean, she's, again, no cell phones. There's, or not no cell
wow.
phones, no pay phones anymore. I was just thinking about that the other day because I was reminiscing. I was driving in a rainstorm, and I had to pull over. I remember when I was a kid, 16 years old, I had to pull over and call my mom and dad on a payphone because I couldn't
Right.
see, and I was like, "Come get me, I can't drive." And I'm like, "My kids don't have never had to find a payphone, let alone have the 35 cents to put in it to call." I don't know. It was
You know what's funny? Where my daughter's at, in Washington, and one of those islands out there where she's at, there's actually payphones there still.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they actually work because I made her stop, and I ran out, and I took pictures of me and hugging the payphone, and my daughter's looking at it, she's like, "Mom, you're crazy." I'm like, "Your sisters and your brothers will never know what this is."
Right.
You know? I'm like, "They will never know what a payphone is," and
No.
at the rate we're going, things are just being forgotten, dismissed, and
Mhm.
unless you have something that,
Right.
a picture of something, you don't even know it exists.
Exactly. No, it just yeah, for her, what a crazy thing. And
Yeah.
I'm sure, inside things changed a little bit, but I mean, you don't get a whole lot of amenities, when you're in prison. So
Oh,
it had
yeah.
to be a whole new world for her. Yeah, I wouldn't think she had a case. I don't know what her mental faculties are, if she would think of that, or maybe a lawyer would go, "Hey, you got a case here." I would assume, I mean, I guess her parents could be alive, but I would assume that they're, quite a bit older.
But, I
I
mean,
guess they
think
could
about
be
it.
in their 80s.
What if she wanted to have children, get married?
They took her
They
whole life.
yeah, they took all that away from her. They
Mhm.
completely took her being a mother, um, everything, a friend, I mean, all we know, she could have been the next Gypsy Rose, we don't know. I mean, they
Could have
took all that
been.
away from you know? They
No,
took all
it's
that
true.
from her.
I was thinking that too, because I mean, at 21, you're still so young, I mean,
Yeah.
so young at that age, even though you don't think you are. But
But, I
looking
mean,
back,
her career,
yeah, they took
oh,
everything. Mhm.
the privilege to drive a car.
Or even help, for her mental state. I mean,
Yeah.
mental health, awareness and, I don't wanna say remedies, but,
But
medicine has
medicine and anything.
gone leaps and bounds since the '80s. I mean, I remember it being, if you were depressed or had to take a med, people thought you were crazy and whatever. Now it's different, they have things
Yeah.
to help now, and it's not as taboo. So, I mean, they even kind of robbed her of getting the help that she needed. So,
Wow. I'm just, like, thinking, "Damn, being 21
mhm,
and just having everything robbed from you."
yeah.
Wow, that's insane. That is crazy. Wow. I would be very, very upset.
Me too.
I would, I'd be looking for a lawyer.
Yeah, well, and especially because, I mean, the prosecution is I have a feeling they're like, "Uh-oh, we dropped the ball," even though it wasn't them exactly, but, the office dropped the ball, 43 years ago. They're kinda digging in like, "Oh, she should stay. We did the right," and now so they're trying to keep her there, and they're the judge is like, "Screw you." There's no
Yeah.
evidence, pointing that she was even in the area. Plus she was that I don't know how that confession stood,
Wow.
with being sedated and under, psychiatric meds, meaning like antipsychotic type things that were altering her state of mind.
Yeah. That's wow. Jeez Louise. I would be
Yeah.
wow. Wow. I'm just, like, in shock, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I read that today. I was like, "What the heck?"
Wow. I
They
can't
should do a
believe that.
documentary on it.
They should. They
S
should.
Honestly, I'll send you the story. It's nutty, all the
Definitely.
details that were left out. So
So my story is in Southern California, I believe it was July 4th. Um, a little boy and their mom were walking across the street. And there was at a stop, there was a Mercedes. They're a black Mercedes. The little boy, I just want to point out, the little boy has autism. He's got it's not a mild, it's a severe case of autism. The little
okay.
boy has. And as a mom and the child were walking across the street, the child saw the Mercedes, the little symbol on the hood,
Sure.
and he tapped it. dinged it. You know,
Kids do that.
kids do that, so the mom was at the bus stop. The guy flips the car around, turns back around, comes back, and she's like, she didn't let the boy play with it, but she grabbed the little boy and they kept walking like, "Don't touch
Right.
that."
We don't do that,
Yeah,
like any parent would.
any parent would. The guy flips around, irate, angry, irate, gets out of the car and smacks the kid in the face. And then he gets back into the car.
What in the actual fuck?
I was watching another podcast earlier today because they were addressing this earlier, and I was watching people's comment, and there was one lady on there that and it makes me angry because unless you have a child that has autism, or somebody that has a child that has autism, one, they're very fucking smart. They're smart kids,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't comprehend like somebody that doesn't have autism, and I get that. But we also have compassion for these children because like I said, I have a friend that her son now, he actually works at a theme park and he's now in his 20s, and I've seen him grow up with autism.
Mm-hmm.
And to see him around the theme park and he's like, "Oh, hi," he always waves, but he's always with a smile. And I always love to see him trick or treating on Halloween. Like they
Oh,
don't get
yeah.
it. They're the sweetest people in the world. For someone to do this to a child, first of all, nobody should ever put their hands on a child, period.
Right. I guess I was going to say that. I mean, first off, not your kid, not your, I can understand coming back and going, "Hey, this happened," and maybe being mad. Kind of. I don't think I would be upset, especially if a child was, because kids see things and they're like, whatever, they're going to touch it, and
Yeah.
especially, someone who has autism, they do want to touch things, and not all, but that's kind of a like, oh, that's neat, you know what I mean? And they don't think, oh, I shouldn't do that. It's one of those, they don't have that cue of, oh, I shouldn't do that, I just want to. And so to hit any child, for Pete's
Mhm.
sake, but let alone,
And here's going into more detailed on this. They are homeless. They live out of their car. And to see the most beautiful thing out of the community, people from San Diego, LA, Orange County, like everywhere came together. They've been going to them, donating them stuff. There was also, I believe, a GoFundMe account to get them a place. Just the outreach that everybody has shown love.
That's good.
It's beautiful to see, especially because he's got siblings too.
Mhm.
To show them that, what, just because someone's not that nice doesn't mean everybody is
That's
that
great.
way.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to show you a clip here. This is a clip from KTLA 5. This is from LA. They were out there and they interviewed them and the family, and they have the video clip of this gentleman doing it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and play this for you guys.
It's become.
We don't want to get in trouble for the music. All right.
It's become this slap felt across SoCal. You saw it first here on Channel 5. An image many are calling a sickening sight. Video of a man seen slapping a young boy with autism, presumably because the child touched him.
Do you see that little boy laughing? Like he doesn't.
He thinks he's a friend. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, hey.
Yeah. He's not comprehending there,
No.
So here we go.
His Mercedes. Good evening. This is the KTLA 5 News at 5:30. I'm Courtney Friel.
And I'm Rick Chambers. Sharon and Micah have this night off. The cell phone video has now gone viral, and in doing so, generated a groundswell of community-wide compassion for that family.
And since our story aired, the outpouring of assistance from complete strangers has really been nothing short of inspiring.
Gracias, okay.
A grateful family speaks with KTLA about the outpouring of public support a day after we shared video which went viral, showing a stranger coming up to their son with autism and slapping him.
Nunca esperamos esto, la verdad. Ni por dinero.
The family says they never expected this, the incredible support from the community after this incident happened in Pacoima on Monday. Alfredo Morales was with his older sister, Ashley, when she
Oh my
says the
gosh.
10-year-old, who has autism and loves to touch things, bent the hood ornament on the man's Mercedes. That man, seen on video, stopping his car, confronting the children, and then slapping Morales.
When you saw that slap, though, what were you thinking?
I was traumatized. I was like shaking.
When KTLA first reported on the story, we were surprised to find the Morales family living out of a broken down van in a local
breaks my
park.
heart.
That bus
Mine
they
too.
took was the ride they made each day to get food before returning to the van in the park.
That's a microphone, baby.
In just hours, the story spread on social media. Now, Good Samaritans are stepping up, and strangers keep showing up, wondering how they can help. Alex Manzo worked to establish a GoFundMe with the family, which has already exceeded its goals.
I don't know the family. I just seen it on Instagram. Stuff's going viral, and it got us mad. They need a lot of resources that can help out. So everything is helpful, and we're here. We have all the love for the family. Everything's going to them.
The story also catching the attention of LA rapper Swifty Blue.
Yeah, so the truck doesn't run. I told them we're gonna fix the transmission, rebuild the transmission, whatever it takes, so we're gonna help them get mobile.
Today, housing officials were out with the family, and they have a new attorney too. It was that rapper, Swifty Blue, who sent him the video and spurred him into action. One person connecting to another and another.
I will do anything in my power to help them. And I don't mean necessarily just by filing some sort of lawsuit, but by getting them resources to turn this tragic situation into something that helps improve their lives.
As for the man in the video, the family says they have filed a report with police. We have reached out to the man and have not heard back.
Aw,
Fundraiser.
that made me
That
tear up.
It does. It makes you tear up. It
For
really,
real.
it really,
just the generousness of everyone in the community. Just like, here, let's help. I mean, they don't have to. They didn't have to, but they
No.
are, and that's pretty fucking cool.
and
Sweet boy.
you look at that boy, all you want to do is you want to just give him a hug. He's
Yeah.
so stinking cute. He's a
Yeah.
cute little kid that just, when I saw it, I was so angry. I was
Yeah.
so mad because I have a cousin that has autism too. And like I said, I've been around children that have autism,
hmm
and they're the most smartest, loving, carefree spirit that it's heartbreaking to see somebody try to do something like that to a child, especially not knowing. What if that child had some kind of probably some brain damage or something? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you don't know
You
what
don't.
you the fucking right to come and slap a child.
There is no
Like,
right. I don't even.
what gave you that fucking right? Who the fuck do you think you are to come to? And I mean, I don't know, does someone make you God or something, like, to say, hey, you know what, I'm just gonna do whatever I want? Like,
It's just a hood ornament, for Pete's sakes. It's
I
just
mean,
a hood ornament.
if you're driving a Mercedes, I'm pretty sure you can afford
You've got
to
the money
fix
to
it.
fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, super glued. Who fucking cares at this point? You
Right.
know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's a child. It's a little boy that had no idea. And you see, like, the woman's like, don't touch, like, and he's just laughing because he didn't know.
Right.
He didn't know. So
Well, he was acting as if when the guy came up, like, oh, a new friend, let me say hi,
yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
This story made me really angry on the way this gentleman acted and what, and reading through the comments and seeing everybody else's stuff, there's a lot of loving people that were saying, like, who does he think he is? Like, what made
Yeah.
him give the right to do that? And then there were some people saying, well, you need to teach your children more. You can't teach someone with
Mm-mm.
autism. I'm sorry.
No,
And if you
no.
don't have a child that's with autism, or you've never been with people that has autism, you don't have a right to speak on
Right.
saying,
Regardless of that too. I mean, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
It doesn't
that's when
matter.
there's an
You don't
adult.
fucking hit people's kids. You don't.
Yeah.
You just
And
don't.
there was an adult there. You can address the adult. and then have that taken over and let the adults figure it out. But you don't smack a kid just because you fucking feel like it. So yeah, but it's very beautiful to see how the
Yes.
community has come together. They're helping them. They're getting a house. They've got an attorney that's helping them, to see rappers that are coming out
Yeah.
of nowhere to help them.
It's
So
wonderful.
yeah, this was a big story here, and it's been all over social media for now, like I
Makes me
said, for
want to go donate to their GoFundMe.
yeah, yeah, no,
Serious.
it is, like I said, it is a beautiful, beautiful thing to see them. And like I said, I mean, there's more videos out there where, I mean, they've got piles of water and food and
That's wonderful. Well,
yeah,
it's nice that they were, you know, they're looking into getting housing now, and they're going to fix the car. And I mean, I've lived in a car before. It's not fun. I couldn't imagine with my kids. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, I've been there. I've been there before too with my child.
Yeah.
It's not fun. It's not fun, and I'm very happy to see that. And one negative became a positive, which is
Yes.
beautiful to see. So yeah, that was my highlight.
All right.
Come back to
Oh, it brought tears to my eyes. I'm a little
yeah.
weepy today. I don't know why.
We'll blame it on the shift of the earth or something they said
Yeah, I don't know.
today. We'll blame it on Gypsy Rose.
Yeah, it's Gypsy Rose's fault. It's all her fault. We'll just blame her. I came across a story. I don't know if you've seen this in the news. Just just the other day, there's been these. I cannot talk. Jeez Louise. Oh, all right. In Newport Beach, California, 3 men accused of killing an elderly woman tourist during a robbery outside an upscale shopping mall in Newport Beach defied a judge, refusing to leave their jail cells to go to court and face murder and other charges. So I found this interesting. So these 3 guys, um, plus a getaway driver. So there's a guy, Leroy McCrary, who's 26, Malaki Darnell, who's 18. They're both of LA. And then Jaden Cunningham, 18, of Lancaster, were appeared to were appeared to schedule. Jesus Christ.
It's a recording night, and
yeah,
words are hard.
Words are
and
really hard tonight. So they were scheduled to appear in an Orange County Superior Court in Santa Ana to be arraigned and enter their guilty or not guilty pleas, but none of them showed up. They said, "We're not going." The judge was like, this had happened the last time they tried to arraign them as well. The judge goes, "Hold on," because somebody mentioned that one of them was under like a 24-hour watch, meaning they were on suicide watch or a psychiatric hold. And the judge goes, "I need to know if it's that or if they're just refusing." All 3 of them, I don't know. They must have some way of communicating. I don't think they're in the same jail cell. But all 3 of them refused to go. They had the jail workers. Shit. What is that called? Why can't I think of it? The jail workers.
the guards.
Yes, the guards. It's a rough one, folks. They had the guards take an iPad so the judge could see that they were there, and they had some semblance of an arraignment, but they're still trying to get them to go. So what had happened is back on, this is recent, like, let me see what the day was. Oh, on July 2nd. So just last week, or 2 weeks ago now. When you watch this, depending on when we put it up, but on July 2nd, so there was a couple who was vacationing from New Zealand. The wife was 68, the husband is 69. They were robbed by these 3 men. One of them was in the car as the getaway driver. The other 2 were armed. They tried to get the husband's watch. When they couldn't get it, they grabbed her all the bags that uh, the woman had, and she wasn't letting go. She was kind of putting up a fight. Well, they drug her in front of the getaway car, and the husband tried to save her, but he couldn't. They drove right over her and drove at least 30 feet until she passed, and then she dislodged from the car, and they ended up finding them. It was a horrible thing. I'm like thinking,
Holy
oh my gosh,
shit.
these poor this poor couple. They come to the United States on vacation. They're from New Zealand. They're just out for a nice day of shopping, and the woman ends up dead. But I don't understand. It didn't say why they're refusing to go into their arraignment. My only thought is, are they dumb enough to think if they don't show up to arraignment, they don't get charged? I mean, they're gonna have to.
You know what? Nothing's starting to surprise me how people think anymore. Nothing
It's
does.
just like, yeah.
It just doesn't nothing seems to surprise me. And the more, like I said, the more stories we do,
Mm-hmm.
the more my bubble keeps chipping, and now it's
Yeah.
no longer a bubble, and now we're like at a broken, I don't know, broken vase, I guess. It's insane. It's insane. I mean, what do they think? They were gonna, like, I don't know, just say, okay, we'll call it
Like,
quits. I
they
mean,
probably saw an older couple, late 60s, to an 18-year-old that seems ancient, that they thought they were probably an easy mark. Now, they did have firearms, and uh, one of the kids, and I call them kids because they're 18 and 26, they're kids to me. But one of the kids had a year prior had gone down or gotten arrested for, I mean, he didn't kill anybody, for armed robbery and things. And he only got probation with a suspended sentence. So some people are upset that he should have already been behind bars and maybe this wouldn't have happened. But who knows? Hindsight's 2020. Maybe, you know, maybe it was his first offense and that was it, who knows? Maybe the judge thought maybe he could be rehabilitated rather than go back to the life of crime. I don't
Right.
know, but people are kind of upset about that. He should have been serving a 3-year sentence, but
Oh, Jesus.
I know.
Like I said, nothing seems to faze me anymore. Never mind. The people who shouldn't probably get that long of a sentence get longer sentences.
I
I
know.
mean, and I mean, fuck. You know what I mean? It's just like it's crazy. It's just crazy and it's mind blowing.
Mhm.
And also on our system, like, well, let's just slap on the hand and
Right, and then others, like the woman we talked about first,
yeah,
they didn't do their job, and she was put away for 43 years for not committing a crime, so,
yeah.
you know.
So, and I'm curious to see the one, and I will keep everybody updated on the story that I just did of this little boy, um, on where that goes, and
Oh,
if they do end up
absolutely.
going to trial, or if they end up, settling or something, I'll
Mhm.
let everybody know. Which I'm curious to see what will happen on that one too.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm glad a lawyer's involved and willing to do whatever it takes to help that family, so.
yeah. So I've seen some crazy stuff, and this is it just keeps getting crazier and crazier.
Mhm.
Um, wow. So my next story, and or do you have another story, Sam? Nope.
Nope,
Okay,
that was it.
so my next story, the story of the last one for the night. This happened in North Las Vegas. This happened about a week ago. Uh, this is revealing, and if you guys are, triggered on certain things, you might not want to watch. This gentleman had an argument with his girlfriend, or ex-girlfriend, I should say, not his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, an argument. And he went over and decided to shoot the girlfriend, shoot the neighbor upstairs, shoot the neighbor's, I believe, mother, and I think the sister, and then total of 5 people, and also shot a child in the
Jeez
middle.
Louise.
A 13-year-old who is still fighting for their life in the hospital.
Wow.
Um, this happened, like I said, about a week ago. I want to say last week. I want to say 2 weeks ago. By the time this airs, it's going to be about 2 weeks. This happened on June 24th,
Okay.
and this has been on our news a lot because this gentleman had a series of like over 2 decades of
Like a rap sheet.
things, yeah, of things that he'd done, that nobody really took him serious, or maybe not take him serious, I should say, but didn't get him the help maybe he needed, I wanna say,
Sure. Yeah.
you know?
Hmm.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and play the news clip real quick, and like I said, this happened in North, Las Vegas,
Okay.
New information tonight about the murders of 5 people in North Las Vegas. Police now say 47-year-old Eric Adams also took his ex-girlfriend hostage. Detectives also revealing more on the relationships between the multiple victims. 24-year-old Kayla Harris was his ex-girlfriend's daughter. The daughter's 22-year-old friend Jeanette, who family identified to News 3.
3 neighbors were also killed. 20-year-old Christopher Damien, who left an upstairs apartment to intervene after hearing a fight in the downstairs apartment. His grandmother, Damiana Moreno, and his mother, Amy Damien, were also murdered. Police say Adams then went upstairs and killed them. He also shot Christopher's 13-year-old sister, who is still fighting to stay alive. North Las Vegas police say the shooting started during an argument between Adams and his ex-girlfriend. They were in her downstairs apartment at the Craig Ranch Villas. Our Kristen Drummond joins us live outside that complex near Craig and Commerce with the latest. Kristen?
Wow.
Can you imagine that 13-year-old waking up to having now nobody? No one.
I know. No one.
No one. Absolutely now
It's
over
sad.
fight.
Yeah.
So this gentleman at the very end, he does end up taking his life. He does end up he does take his life at the very end.
Right. Which always pisses me off. Because if you're going to do something like that to other people, you should stay alive to face the consequences. You know what I mean? It's the
Right?
easy way out. I mean,
and do this
if
fucking
you're going
shit.
to do that to yourself, don't take other people out with you. Nothing is that big.
If you're gonna do this, you know what? Fucking pull up your granny panties and
Mhm.
you know say, you know what, I fucking did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let
Either own it or don't take people down with you. You know what I mean?
And over an argument, there's 5 people now.
Nothing's that bad. Nothing is
No.
that bad to
No.
do.
And you know what? And for anybody listening, there is a lot of help. Reach out, say something. We're all here.
Yeah.
And you know, if we can, we'll do everything we can in our power to help you.
Absolutely.
In anything that you're going through. You know, but definitely reach out. You know, there's it like I said, this is just mind blowing to me that somebody would not only take all these other people's lives that maybe he didn't even know them.
No, they were neighbors. I mean,
And a
it's just
child.
sad. Yeah, yeah.
And now there's a child that now is that's fighting really hard for their life to, you know, to wake up to their
what?
family members.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 13 because they still got to go live with somebody because now they have they still have all these years still, and who knows what
Mhm.
condition they're gonna be in.
Right.
We don't know what condition the child is gonna be in after they wake up. We don't know. And you know, I hope and I pray that the child
Recovers fully
recovers. Yeah.
and
Mhm.
finds a good place to go. Or
Yeah.
they find a good place for her to go. So
Yeah. So that was my last story of the night. And it's been an interesting, wonderful, amazing
Yeah.
evening. We do miss AC for not being with us, but we understand. We both
Yes.
understand that things happened. It happens to all of us.
It does. Things like On the 12th, I have a funeral. So I will, depending on how or when we air this or how the rest of this week, because we tape a week ahead, goes, my next live won't be till the 19th. So, but thank goodness I remembered, and it wasn't like day of, like, sorry guys. Forgot I
But you
had
know
this
what?
thing.
You know what? That is the most beautiful thing of our little family we have,
Yes.
because we all understand. We all have
Oh,
kids. We all have family. We all have a
yes.
whole, we get it. So
Mhm.
we will truly miss you. If you guys are listening to, if you guys want to get a heads up on any of these shows, we're going to be airing them on, I believe I'm going to do Tuesday or Wednesday night, or Wednesday midnight
Oh, yeah.
night at midnight, because Sam has an amazing show with her wonderful husband on YouTube called the Married Couple Podcast.
Yes.
And that will be airing every Wednesday night on my time, which is 7 o'clock, but it's a lot later for them.
Actually,
Or
it'll
no,
be 6 o'clock your time. It'll be 8 p.m. Central every Wednesday night. If we're not live, which we will be we will have been because this airs after us. We'll be live again. But when I was out of town, we've been replaying and having watch parties of our old episodes. I mean, we're on episode 137 now. So we've played a couple of, we played 101 last time, and we go back and find ones like, oh, that was funny. It was really fun to do this. And then we'll react with you live in the comments as we watch it together. So that's been fun, but live shows starting back up, and I'm excited for that too.
yes. And if you guys, it's I know it's the middle of the week, but you want to have that good laugh just to de-stress of whatever's going on, check them out, because I guarantee you're gonna be laughing your ass off, because and I'm still curious. I want to know about your neighbor. So
He's
don't
fine. He's fine.
I'm telling you, you should get one of those little air tag. You know what my kids used to have? There used to be like these little teddy bears, right? And you
Mhm.
used to clip it on their back of their pants in the very back, and they couldn't see it or feel it. So if they
Oh.
walked a certain distance, that thing would go off. Like, no joke. Like, it was an annoying, obnoxious noise that they walked, like, maybe, I don't know, like 10 steps to the other side of you.
That's funny.
And that's what you need for your neighbor at this point.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm worried. So if you guys want to catch what I'm talking about, you guys need to go to the Married Couple Podcast, check them out. And then there was an episode, right? With the neighbor.
Mhm. Yeah, so we've had a couple, but the last live show that we did, I believe it was that one. I think. I don't know. I could go look, huh? Last live show that we did prior to this upcoming one that we'll be doing. We had Drunk Neighbor and Anthony's Corner on. And oh yeah, it was two live shows ago, sorry. And so probably about a month ago. And Drunk Neighbor told the story. Oh, yeah, you'll have to go back. It's episode 135. Go watch it. He also was on episode. He's been on a few times, but the prior time he was on, prior to that, he told the first part of the story. So maybe go back and find that episode as well, because that one is that episode 120 is actually when he was on. That one's a fun one too. Watch that one first, and then 135.
I'm afraid we're gonna have them. I'm afraid we're gonna be. You know what? I got an episode to do on our drunk neighbor.
I have told him that more times than not. I'm like, you know what, dude, you're gonna end up on my show, and not the fun one, and not the good way. They're gonna do a documentary about this.
You should just write a book. At this point, you know what, Sam? Write a book on him.
I know, right? Make millions.
So yeah, with that said, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed our evening just as much as we did. And we will see you Friday live at 7 p.m. and 9
Central.
Why do I always want to say Eastern? Highlights Eastern. We always
It's fine. Words are really hard tonight. Words are hard.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
And I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Good night, everyone.
Good night.